Welcome back to the 90 Degrees Fightcast, UFC edition. Today, we're going to be talking about a really interesting and fantastic fight that's coming up, a rematch that I think that we've all been waiting for, and that's Adesanya versus Pereira 2 at UFC 287. Yeah? And I'm going to straight away throw this straight to Neil. Neil, what you saying?
What am I saying? So this is actually their full fight, and it's currently 3-0 to Pereira. It is Pereira, isn't it?
Pereira.
Pereira. All right. All right. So yeah, it's their full fight to Pereira.
But it's two in UFC, isn't it?
So they've fought twice before in a kickboxing match, and both of those matches, Pereira won. One of them was a brutal KO. And the other one, yeah, I think Izzy was winning, and then Pereira came back. Now, I saw the UFC match that they had last year, and it was a fantastic. Yeah, it was a brilliant fight. Isreal had him knocked, on unsteady legs in the first round with like a brutal punch, and looked like it could have been over if there was more time on the clock.
10 seconds more, man, it'll be over.
Yeah, Pereira got saved by the bell, definitely.
Yeah.
And then he got dominated. He got out grappled by Adesanya, who's not the best grappler, but he's had enough fights in the UFC and enough training. I think he's a purple belt to actually, win the grappling with Pereira.
Oh, Habib, you could have him.
Yeah. Probably. But it was I think it was like 4 rounds to Adesanya. It was
Yeah.
Pereira is always in it with his leg kicks and with his striking, and he was always looking dangerous. And then he caught him in the 5th round, and a lot of people thought that he was going to catch him at some point. And
2 minutes in,
controversial 2 minutes in, controversial stoppage. Not at the time, everyone was kind of like jumping up, but looking back, a lot of
it was a good stoppage.
A lot of people. It's very divided because a lot of people, when they see other fights go on a lot longer, so it was a controversial. It was semi-controversial, let's say, but the rematch is going to be anticipated, and the reason is because Isreal Adesanya is probably, without a doubt, like the greatest middleweight to ever compete in the UFC.
Great striker, man.
Now, do you know what? About that stoppage, though, they were saying that the ref did the right thing by stopping it. Yeah, because he could have got hurt more.
He wouldn't have given him a chance.
He would have been out. He basically could have absolutely nailed him. And following up, you don't know what the state he was in. Yeah, but the stoppage, they're blessed to be able to come back and have another fight. He's had an operation, and he wanted to come back 4 weeks after that and go for a rematch.
Yeah.
But obviously, his trainer's saying, "Do you know what? No, it's a good time, to go for this fight now instead of, back then." So there's a good chance Isreal Adesanya, this fight is going to be absolute fire. Anyway, what you saying, Russ?
Yeah, go on.
What I'm saying, I'm looking forward to this, man. This is going to be a wicked fight. But yeah, do you know what? I feel like Pereira is got this left hook that is Adesanya's kryptonite, and it's almost inevitable it's going to land, because every time it's landed, that's where all the trouble kicks off. Like the second fight in the kickboxing one, it was a brutal knockout from that left hook. Then the last UFC one, it all began with that left hook. He was trying to land it the whole fight, but Adesanya is so aware of it. He did so well to keep away from it. But, that guy got such a mean left hook, bro. He's just so strong.
Powerful. Given that he's a good striker.
Yeah. I feel like it's inevitable he's going to land it. But one thing Adesanya did, I noticed how he stayed away from it, is he was doing this clever thing where, you don't do the traditional blocking or trying to slip and roll. He was very clever. From mid-range, he would use his hands like this and he will like tie those hands up. So he has to work around the hands. He can't quite get in there because he's got that nice distance, and they'll pawn off these hands that's coming at him. But the thing is, I wonder if Pereira and his team will notice on the second round of that fight and a bit of the third, he done something really nice because he's so strong. His jab is very thudded. So what he did is to counter that, he just went down the pipe with a nice hard jab through the straight line pipe, so he didn't have to go around it. And it was landing. Did you see the jabs? It was starting to land on the second round real nice. And, it was telling because he was like, oh, he's getting knocked back to the cage. So that's something Adesanya's going to have to work against, because if they rewind that back and be like, yeah, look, the jab goes through that, then you can get inside. That's going to be great. It's a hard fight to call, man, because Adesanya is such a wicked striker.
Adesanya's up for blood.
He's so amazing, such an amazing striker. But that guy, man, Pereira, he's got something about him. He just grinds.
You know what? Adesanya can take him out if it's groundwork, bros, because Pereira's groundwork ain't that great.
Yeah. And I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say on that fight as well. Did you see in the middle rounds, Pereira slowed right down, and that's because Adesanya gassed him out through the grappling and the wrestling and stuff like that. And I think he cuts a lot of weight, Pereira. He cuts so much weight that doing things like that gasses him quick, and then it takes a while to recover.
Not only that, he's not really that skilled in his groundwork.
He's more stand-up.
So Adesanya, you could tell he knew what he was doing. He was putting his hooks in, the game on top. He put the pressure on top, and he actually was he was literally pounding him. If he stayed in that mode and he actually played that game, he would have had a better chance. Because you know what, Pereira's dangerous standing up, and he's powerful. So I think it's one of those things where if he comes in this round, and Adesanya's training, and I think he's going to get that input from his coaches. You're going to have to take him down. Because if it's a fight, he's not going to, I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Yeah.
I think
Pereira's a beast, man. He comes from a family of indigenous people from the Amazon, man. They're like all they hunt. It's in their blood. But,
what were you saying, Bill? What was your thoughts on the whole thing?
Do you know what? Not counting the 2 kickboxing losses, I'm counting only the UFC, right? He's had that loss. He's going to come back for revenge. He's definitely going to come back from Adesanya, and he's going to keep it to the ground. He's not going to go toe to toe. And what Pereira needs to do is basically to win, because he's actually coming in as the underdog.
Yeah,
as a champion, he's a champion, and he's coming in as the underdog because everybody knows Isreal Adesanya's ground game. Is Alex Pereira is that he doesn't have ground game.
No, I was just going to say it's a kind of a race against time, because his ground game is going to be improving, day by day. They're going to work on every day. He's got Glover Teixeira, working with him in his corner, and they're going to be training, takedown defense and the basics. And you don't need to necessarily spend years doing it to hold off a guy
but to get to somebody of Adesanya's level, you are.
But Adesanya's not a good grappler. He's a striker.
I know he's a striker, but his ground game's only getting better and better as he's only been he's preparing for this fight 1 year. It's been about a year since he lost his title, So in that time, you don't think he's been training either.
But you know what it is? I don't think he's comfortable going with the ground game, because if you notice, like Neil said, he's a striker. He's comfortable striking. He'll do the groundwork if he has to.
And Pereira's going to get him.
But I think he's gonna have to do what he doesn't want to do this time. He's gonna have to wrestle him, grapple him, take his energy away, strike.
Exactly.
Back to the ground game.
Exactly.
Take energy away, strike, let him gas out constantly and just strike him up. See if you could take him out, because he almost did on the first round with that overhand right in the left hook. Boy, another 5 seconds even, I think that would have been it.
Yeah, do you see? There you go. Yeah, but anyway, what you say, Neil, regarding what round and who's going to finish this?
Yeah.
Where's it going to go?
I think it's going to be. I'm going to keep it simple. I think it's going to be exactly the same as the first fight in the UFC, the last match. But I think
Really?
Isreal Adesanya is going to concentrate a bit, a bit longer in the fifth round, and I think he'll get the victory, a unanimous decision.
Well, Adesanya.
Adesanya, he'll win the grappling. He'll win most of the exchanges. He'll keep it a distance. He's got the speed. He's not going to get sloppy again. He's not going to get caught again. And I think Izzy will win. I think it'll probably be a boring fight. I hate to say it because he does do that quite a bit sometimes. I think it will be a boring long range fight, and Isreal Adesanya will win in a kind of shut out decision.
All right. So Habib,
Yeah.
I'm gonna come to you, bros. What are your thoughts? How this is gonna go, and what round you think this is gonna finish, and who's the fighter that you think is gonna, tip the scales?
Well, in terms of both fighters, I think that Pereira, if he can't get him to the ground, right, Pereira's going to chip away at him slowly. He goes, because even in the fight that you saw him, fair enough, the first round he got saved by the bell. But at the same time, Pereira was closing in all the time, pushing him back to the cage, back to the wall. And he was actually attacking. And he didn't seem to look like he was getting gassed out until he got taken down to the ground. And that's where kind of the tide changed for both of them, for both of them, isn't it? Because Adesanya then had the upper hand. The only thing is Adesanya stopped the grappling game. Yeah, he should have realized that worked, because he wasn't reacting enough. Pereira, when he was grappling, I didn't see much defense against it. At least Kimura locking, trying to get back up. He got wrapped up. So I do feel, and Adesanya, he's had the championship title for how long now? He's been the champion. But he's lost 2 kickboxing fights, and he's lost this. He's got a lot to prove. He's going to be training hard, and I think he's got enough IQ to make the right decisions in this fight. So I think Adesanya.
So you're saying Adesanya?
Yeah, Adesanya's going to take it. In terms
What
of the
round?
he'll either go all the way, right?
Unanimous decision.
Yeah, unanimous decision. Or you never know. If he does the grappling game properly, he might be able to tap him out, or the stoppage. It's one of the two. If he doesn't tap him out in the ground game, he'll go all the way, because I think he'll play smart when he's standing up, right? And if he takes him down to the ground, he's going to round and pound and actually, just tighten up and just finish it off.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. Those 2 guys have given their views on what's going to happen. Now I'm going to go to the guy who always manages to change everybody's mind.
This is UFC though, player.
Yeah, you might just do it again, innit? What you saying, Raz? What you saying?
I kind of agree with Neil a little bit, in the sense it might be a boring fight, because I think, on the back of Adesanya's mind, he's lost 3 times to this guy. I know it's on the UFC we're talking about, but to him, he's lost twice already.
Yeah.
He's going to think, I can't lose again, man. No way, I'll do whatever it takes to win this time.
And it's going to make it boring.
That means if I have to make it boring, which he's been criticized for in the past, he don't care. He's going to make it boring. But I think also Pereira, he's cut a lot of weight, man. He's a big guy. He's a real big guy. And that takes a toll. And he's going to do it again to cut weight. And every time you do that, it just gets harder. It gets harder. And I think it's going to take a toll, and Adesanya is going to make it boring and distant strikes where he's going to have to come forward a lot. And I reckon they're gonna do something about this grappling. They're going to work out, this drained this guy out so bad. We need to use this tool more. I think they'll do that. I think they'll train Adesanya to do that. Somewhere where he's in a danger space and he'll work out a way. Before that left hook gets there, he'll work out a way to grapple this guy. Drain him out. Because if you notice, as soon as he did that, it was like 2 rounds before Pereira got recovered again and got dangerous again, became dangerous again. So I'm going to Adesanya because of those
What round?
reasons. Because of the first, he almost knocked him out in the first round when he was fresh. I'm going with late stoppage. I reckon he's gonna do a boring fight, but he's gonna gas him out with the grappling. His striking is gonna be on point. It's gonna take a toll on that guy's weight, Pereira's weight. He's gonna be quite drained, sloppy in the end, and that's where he's gonna get caught. I reckon he's gonna get caught with a big strike, and then bam, he's gonna get what he wants. He's gonna be like, yes, finally beat this guy. That's me. That's what I'm going to do. But
Well,
what you saying, Bill?
I'm gonna do something a little unorthodox. I'm gonna be out of the box prediction right now. Yeah, I think Adesanya's gonna go in guns blazing, and while he's fresh, first round, go for the kill.
That's dangerous. You don't do that with a strong.
I think he's gonna do that because he almost did it in the first match, and I think he did it. You know, if that bell saved Pereira, yeah, I don't think it's gonna save him this time. I don't think it's gonna save him there because payback. He's going for payback, and this guy, you've seen Adesanya do some brutal things in the ring. Yeah, you know what he's capable of. He's got some nasty ass elbows too. Yeah, and he's got those long spider legs.
He's got dirty ones.
Yeah, so you know there's every chance that he knows Pereira is probably training for some ground game to counter him. And he's not, he's gonna be like, do you know what? I'm gonna learn this, and he's gonna be like, all right, safe. I'm gonna go for the kill. I'm gonna strike game this dude if he thinks I'm gonna be grappling him and take him out. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, is there anything else you guys want to add?
You're going on like Tunde. Empty the tank now.
Lions in the camp.
I don't know. I think it's a dangerous one, though, because think about it. He's lost 2 kickboxing fights with him. You know,
I believe they ain't gonna go with that route, bruv. They're gonna be real. They play chess.
It's either gonna be a boring fight or it's gonna be over.
Yeah.
One way or another. It's gonna be a boring fight or it's gonna be straight over. Yeah, bang at, yeah. But anyway, I think that wraps it up. Thank you everybody for joining us on this UFC edition of our fight prediction for Isreal Adesanya and Alex Pereira 2. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thank you all for joining us again. Catch you on the next one. Check your line, Raz.
Slap you up.